Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
How are we all doing?
We'll give you a change of scene today, seeing as it's so beautiful outside.
Well, actually, we were speaking, doing a 2-hour thing for a Christian organisation, and we thought it probably wouldn't be wise just to put the wine bottles up there. Anyway, I had a wee thought that I was going to talk about passion today.
Maybe not.
Steady. No, I read this wee verse and I love it. It's Romans 12 verse 11, and Paul says, "Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervour serving the Lord." Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervour serving the Lord. And I assume that he said it because there is the possibility that you might lose your spiritual fervour and that your zeal might wane in terms of serving God. And certainly it's been one of those seasons where it's been pretty easy to do that. I've been thinking about it that there's something about keeping your passion levels up. Everybody has passion for something. It's like
some of us it's football.
That's true. Well, it's funny. Somebody I maybe told this before, but somebody left our church. They married a girl out of the church, stayed for 3 months. He was in another well-known denomination. Left because he didn't like dancing. And about 2 months later, I saw him at a Northern Ireland match doing the bouncy. Seriously, and you think, we all have passion, but we redirect it. But Paul's very clear. He calls it zeal and fervour. But I suppose it's, in a normal term, enthusiasm. It's passion. And the reality is, we all have it. But you know when you have it and you know when you don't have it. And sometimes you can have a great spiritual high, right? Great weekend preaching or whatever in our case. And then, Monday comes along and you're flat again. And what you discover is that yesterday's passion isn't today's passion. You have to get it fresh every day. And there are different things I've discovered over the years that happen to drain it away. First of all, you get drained. You get tired, to be honest with you. You get weary. And the problem is that sometimes, particularly if you're involved in Christian work, you keep on going,
despite being
without getting replenished again. Replenished.
Even replenished.
That's the Greek in it. So there's something about taking time and setting it aside. We found that we could still do the ministry, but we needed a longer lead-in time. Isn't that right? And part of that's just getting our energy and our passion back again. I think you get discouraged about things too. You pray for things, don't see them happen. Things happen out of your own control even. You get a wee bit discouraged. You go, goodness, is that never going to change? And the worst of all is getting disillusioned, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot. That's when a lot of people end up walking away.
That's right. They get a bit disillusioned, and the other one is defeated as well. Do you notice there was 5D? There was 4, but I couldn't. Anyway, defeated was another one. Living. The passion doesn't dwell in the heart of the defeated. If you're persistently living a defeated life and giving in to temptation,
you'll not be.
You won't be passionate for the Lord. So, all of us. I personally, I find passion redirected is harder to get back than passion lost.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean is that if you take your brother, who's a wonderful guy, he gets passionate. I mean, he's passionate about cycling. Remember that? Absolutely fanatical about it.
All the time.
And then he went to ballroom dancing and he became fanatical about that. And he never went cycling again. And you've got passion, but you redirect it. But sometimes, just if it wanes a bit in your Christian life, particularly, you can get it back again. So, to help us get the passion back again. And I've got a few things, but
I think too, for me in this season, it makes me realise how your passion even feeds off other people.
Yeah. So you need community. You mean you need people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you do.
So I think for me, maybe in the beginning it was the time with the Lord was
a novelty, wasn't it? Yes.
It was easier.
Yeah,
it was enjoyable to have that space and time to give to it, and I really, really enjoyed it. I would say at the minute, like, to maintaining my personal passion, in my relationship with the Lord, I'm having to work harder at it now than I was maybe this time last year. And I think you realise that, well, then maybe sometimes even some of your enthusiasm is, or passion is diverted into other things, and that you're hooking it onto something that, you know, whether it's feedback from things that you're doing, etc. But actually,
We're looking forward to binge watching The West Wing.
But it you know, when we're talking about passion, it's got, anything that we do out of a sense of passion has got to be fueled because we're passionate and we're in a love relationship with Jesus. So I think it's that's fuels your passion.
Yeah, I had it down to, you know, some choices you make. First of all, confession. I talk to the Lord about it. Mm-hmm. Invite Him in, say, Lord, I'm lacking a bit of passion at the minute, and this really difficult time, and tell Him about it and ask Him to restore it again. And I find it, personally, I find it takes very little to get you know, if I make the effort, open my heart up, my life up to God again, something begins to happen.
Yes.
And I think the communion with God at that time of just, you know, don't make I just determined not going to make my relationship, if I can get this one right, perfunctory or distant, but I'm going to maintain a passionate love relationship with Jesus and tell Him that every day. And that it's that communion with Him that stirs something within me. And it's people as well, as you say. It's that whole, you know, and we're missing that. That's
yes,
the real issue.
I'm definitely
That's the heart bit where, you know, you need other people. So keep in touch by Zoom, even though, and FaceTime. It's a hard thing to do. But even meeting those young people today, when we did that session, it lifted us. I mean,
well,
it did, honestly.
So encouraging to see so many people who really do selflessly lay down their lives, you know, working and speaking into young people's lives. That to me, other people's passion also inspires me.
Yeah, and the other thing is the call of God in your life. God, it's God's still something to do in us.
Yes.
You know, I know that I will not fulfill my call under God, whatever that looks like, if I'm not passionate about the gospel. I still believe that the gospel is true, that it works, and Jesus changes lives, and I'm going to commit myself to the rest of my life for doing that. But if I'm not passionate about it, I'm not going to convince anybody, never mind myself. Yeah. So there's something very powerful about passion and restoring your spiritual passion.
And even I was thinking, you know, I was thinking the other day, when you're in lockdown and there's not a lot that you're doing, you know, I was thinking, like, what are we doing that's effective at the minute, or that is making any difference at the minute? But then if you think of Paul the Apostle,
he was in prison, you know,
for
several years.
Complete lockdown to an extent that we're not, and yet his life was still he was so passionate. He was so passionate about the Lord, passionate about the gospel, passionate about the church, and his ministry continued even though he was in prison.
And he finished, you know, in one of the prison epistles in Philippians. What does Paul say? This one thing I do, press on to lay hold of that for which Christ Jesus laid hold of me. He said, I'm not finished yet. I'm forgetting what's behind. I'm pressing forward. So today, press forward. God's got a call in your life, and we're going to be passionate about Jesus. Bye.